And hey, hello there, it's me RJB from RJB TV, the channel that you're watching right now, with 458 going up against Rabbit in game number 6 in this best of series that has been going on for a couple of days already. So far, the score is 2 wins for our killer Rabbit. As you can see there on the picture on the left. And our 458, the Ferrari 458, has 3 wins so far. And in game number 6, both these players are going to get either their 4th win or their 3rd win. Both players are going to be fighting really hard, and we for once have a very close proximity Zerg against Protoss, and in this situation I would say this is absolutely perfect for 458. This is going to be quite difficult game for Rabbit to survive. With 458 being right next door, attacking for 458 is going to be very quick, swift, and easy. But this also means that Rabbit does not really have to worry too much about things happening elsewhere on the map, because 458 is most likely going to play just from his base, might not even go for a proxy Reaver base here on the middle. He might just build everything here back at home. Usually he gets like proxy base on the middle, builds a lot of gateways and robos on the middle to pressure from the front. He might just try to pressure from the side, which is what I've usually seen him do when he's on these corner spawns right next to the Zerg. If there's a player who is really good at playing Zerg against Protoss in a very smart and efficient way, it will in fact be Rabbit. So Rabbit here is already cutting corners and trying to get away with small little advantages by going hatchery before his first pull, and the only reason he's able to do this is because he scouted 458 right next to him. He saw that 458 had no gateways, so he of course then knows, oh, I can skip out on the pool and get a hatchery before the pool and then get the pool after 2 hatcheries have been started. What you usually do, because usually you do not scout the Protoss right next to you, like there's a 1 in 7 chance that they are right next to you, but usually it doesn't happen that often. You would go for a hatchery in the choke, then a pool in the back, then a hatchery in the back, and then start your choke with Sunkens, and then get your 4th hatchery. Rabbit has switched everything around because he has that valuable information from that first scout. Has to get the Overlord out of that corner though, because the cannon is on the way. Zealot is moving across the map. Probe still running in circles there in the back inside of Rabbit's base. But Rabbit is going to propel himself forward with this very fast 4 hatchery, way faster than if he had gone for any other build order. He played a very greedy start, and that very greedy start is working out perfectly fine. Also uses the egg there on the side to wall off the front. Very smart stuff. Allows him to basically keep the Zealot out and keep his choke relatively cheap. If 458 wants to get through, he has to kill the Sunken. So the probe there is going to try to build cannons on the middle to stop Sunkens from pushing to the middle, which would allow 458 to build cannons to hit the hatchery. But Rabbit here very quickly responds, builds a Sunken in front of his hatchery to keep the pylon and the cannons away. Zerglings there to zone the cannons and the probes away to keep 458 busy, to stop him from getting everything there up on the middle, because 458 apparently does want to get this small little stronghold on the middle and just make Rabbit's choke a little bit weaker. Rabbit responds exactly as he should have and stopped that from happening very early into the game. So we have gateways, 4 gateways there in the back for 458, 25 probes and 21 drones there for Rabbit. Rabbit is already on 21 drones, which is more than he should have been on in any other situation. Already getting hatchery number 5 even, and getting a triple gas. That is a very fast triple gas. Rabbit is really planning on just speeding at high speeds straight into a big ass economy. Way bigger than it would have been in any other situation. This is a true Rabbit style strategy and build order. No one else would do any of these things except Rabbit. Rabbit is pretty much the only player who tries to get away with all these small little advantages and changes to his build order and get away with it. Because apparently he understands the game so well that he knows exactly when he can and when you cannot do these kinds of moves. The 458 there, reducing the amount of Sunkens in the front to try and still get more control over the frontal section. He wants to really cannon that entire front section off. He's not building a proxy robo on the middle, he's keeping it back at home, much safer, at much less risk, but there is a larger distance to the middle. He might still build more robos on the middle later on into the match, but for now, it's mostly cannons there to make sure that these structures here in the front die, and Rabbit was kind of being risky by building a den in the front. He's building another den in the back. The den in the front is researching speed. Let's try to kill those two cannons on the side. This cannon protects the other two cannons right there. You can only target those, but the Zelda is keeping the Zergus away. And yeah, that Hydralisk den will probably die as the game goes on. And he'll lose it. So that's some minerals wasted there. I mean, I get the idea because you can reduce the access point onto the sunken to this very small little spot by building a structure in front that is basically functioning as a wall. It should have been an Evo chamber though. It should have been an Evo chamber. He's getting double layer. Ooh, already 7 hatcheries in the back, 1 in the front. Rabbit is really trying to squeeze as much economy and production out of this very advantageous opening. Already has some Hydralisk, snipes his shuttle. Zelda's are on the chase. 458 has to build a new shuttle, which will slow down his follow-up drop. He's got 2 Reavers finishing up. And the plan was to unload the Zealots there beyond the high ground, and then pick up the 2 Reavers right now and fly them in while Rabbit is fighting against the Zealots. But Rabbit, having killed the shuttle, slows down Rabbit's plan, and I think that also closes the window of time where 458 could have flown in and killed some drones, because now we are going to have a lot of high-risk production to protect those sides. He's already on 46 drones, which is more than 458 has probes. Very, very quick progression into a very big economy. Also, only 4 Sunkens in the front, because he knows that 458 is unlikely to attack through the front door. The shuttle finishes up, but look at this. More Hydras have spawned on the scene. Got a vision on that high ground, so it's gonna be difficult to get in. Waiting for shuttle speed. He's actually relocating 1 or 2 Reavers. 2 Reavers to the front door. He's gonna try to break through before Rabbit has adequate defenses in the front. He's pulling Hydralisk to the front because he saw the shuttle and the Zealots moving with the vision from the Overlord, so he knows that 458 is changing up his methods of attack. Going for the front, only 4 Sunkens gonna try to break through, but he cannot yet send in those Zealots. He has to kill the Sunkens first, because if he sends in the Zealots, the Hydralisk behind will kill the Zealots very quickly, which will allow Rabbit to actually break through the middle and go for a counterattack. So 458 has to play this very, very safely, because Rabbit is bigger than he should have been in any other situation. Rabbit is bigger than he should have been. He got away with a very cheeky, maybe even cheesy. Like, this is kind of like a situation you almost never encounter, where a Zerg can just get away with getting way too many drones, way too many hatcheries, and way too much production and income. One Reaver goes down, gonna maybe try to fly through. Rabbit notices though, he noticed it, Senpai, and he scares the shuttle away. Turns around, goes back to the middle, while trying to progress her back at home. 45 probes, a small little break in his production for probes. We have double layer. I think he finished speed and transportation. He might try to fly across that hill and unload here in the base, but 458 is adequately prepared. He's not going to get caught off guard. There might be lurkers in between, but I doubt it. I'm going to try to fly straight towards the Nexus and end the game very quickly, like he did in game number 2. But 458 has to reverse in the shuttle. Going to fly them to the backside, and Rabbit changes his mind. Rabbit changed his mind very, very quickly. Very quick change of mind. He realized that he cannot get in there, and he realized forcing the issue is probably not worth it. But he does do something else that's pretty smart. That's putting Hydralisks on the high ground, so they can fire on anything that just flies through. Oh, but it flies through and it still survives. Now there's Hydralisk up on the high ground and almost nothing there to defend. There's 4 Reavers in the base. He's gonna micro them with his shuttle. Picks them up, unloads them, shuttle there in danger. Ooh, tried to pick the one up, but a little bit too slow. Gets us around on all the Reavers, and the Reavers do not achieve too much. Now we got Hydralisks everywhere on the high ground. and Rabbit actually has a supply lead. 4 of 8 has fallen behind. 4 of 8 is doing everything that he has to do, but nothing is working out as he wants it to. Rabbit has really cheated the system with this one simple trick that Protoss players hate. Click on this video and you can discover it as well. That's what I'm going to title the video. This one simple trick that Protoss players hate. And hopefully that's enough clickbait to get people their attention. This one simple trick, this one simple Zerg trick Protoss players just absolutely hate. Okay, so he's trying to get those Hydras off the high ground, and they do eventually die. A couple more on the top side, morphing one Lurker Cannon there on the side. 4 of 8 is kind of switching into a very defensive style Protoss, because he is feeling the heat. He's feeling Rabbit's breath breathing down his neck. He's feeling it. He can feel it now, Mr. Krabs. And there he comes with the double shuttle on the bottom. Hydras in between, trying to unload. He unloads 2 Reavers and unloads a third one. The third one gets close to the drones and kills 17 drones. And 17 drones do curse at their adversary for taking their lives. The 50 are still alive, getting 2 more Hatters on the bottom. He hasn't really been producing Hydralisks that steadily. Grew quite a big bank. He's putting more drones back to the work. He's got his Hive now, double Spire as well, so soon a Defiler mount will be up and coming as well. Got a couple of Lurkers there to put around his Hive, and the game is progressing nicely. It's slowly, but nicely. Also notice how 4 of 8 is not really pushing his actions per minute that high. He's largely focusing on really just trying to build up his walls and defenses properly. Yeah, that one Lurker egg there was down. Observer on the high ground for vision. Got 5 robos and 6 robos, 2 more on the way, so a total of 8 robos. But there's going to be a lot of Reaver dropping. A lot of Reaver and shuttle production for drops on the side. But Rabbit is progressively getting more well-equipped to deal with exactly that. Because Scourge is now on the scene, but looks like 4 of 8 is going to try to fly around into those Hydralisks. One shuttle goes down before it really unloads. Another one goes down before it really unloads, and that did not go that well. There's the Scourges, so he gets the information of the Scourges. He is... the Hydras on the high ground are really annoying him a lot. Also, 4 of 8 has not really produced probes that much. He's kind of being lackluster on his probe production, only 59. Usually he would have like 65 or 75 by this point, maybe even 85. 4 of 8 now is ramping up into Super Ultra Plus 4 of 8 2.0, and he's gonna really try his hardest now. His APM is shut up. He's realizing that perhaps I have to take this more seriously. That's what he does. He goes into overdrive. Drop their single shuttle arrives on the scene. Nothing responding there from Rabbit, and the drones do run to safety, but 1 or 2 will go down. Goes from... He actually missed the storm. It was a little bit misplaced. That was his one shot to get some kills, and he misses the second storm as well. Both storms is a little bit too high and a little bit too low. Gets no kills at all, but how many would he have killed? Only 2. Would have killed only 2 drones, so whether he did miss or did not miss, it would not have made a damn difference. Now we got Lurkers on the scene. I think we got about 10 or so, maybe even 12 burrowed up. Well, soon to be burrowed up around that hive. Let me just count how many there are. I think it's going to be 12. 11. I was wrong. 11. We do have about 9 Hatchers in the back. Another drop there comes in. Unloading. Carpet unloading. Gonna try to kill this entire corner. Observer moves in even closer. Does not get quite close enough to those drones. And the Observer goes down. So Lurkers are still protecting the drones. He's gonna have to pick up another drop. Ooh, he's got so much ready to go. That's the one upside. That's the one really good thing about being right next to the Zerg. You can just send those shuttles back into your own base, pick shit up, and fly right back in. A lot of gateways are coming up at the top side. We got no cannons in the front. We got cannons here in the middle, but they are kind of not really doing too much. Drop there comes in, flies right into the Hydralisk there though. Ooh, very bad angle, but tries to fly in all the way to the far side. Reaver unloads. Reaver's gonna not shoot because it is too slow. Workers kill it a little bit too quick. Drones for the safety, and the drones all do stay alive. So far, we have been seeing a very well played game from Rabbit. All the defensive maneuvers that he's pulling out of his sleeve have been working out just perfectly fine, and it's not that he's doing a lot of micro, it's just that he's doing a lot of pre-planning. There's a lot of attention to detail in where he places everything that he builds or makes. Everything is very well thought out. He's not leaving a stone unturned. He's not focusing on micro or macro, he's focusing on just getting the most out of every single thing that he does. That is Rabbit. He's not the flashiest, not the fastest, not even the best, but oh boy is he smart. And perhaps that alone makes him one of the best. Little drop there comes in over the top, left. Unloads too far away, tries to parkour, gets a storm on the hive. This time around it was a very well placed storm, but the drones just make a smooth escape to safety to the bottom right corner of that base, and all of them survive yet again. It's going to be very, very difficult for 458 to land a single drop in this climate. In this environment, getting anything is going to be difficult. 458's game has been anything but smooth sailing. It has been anything but smooth sailing. He's even slowed down a bunch. I've not seen 458 play this slow pretty much ever before, so I do suspect there is something going on with 458 here. He might speed up yet again a little bit later on in the game, but usually he does not play around 200, although now, yeah, he's going up a little bit again. And the upgrades, I haven't mentioned them, entire game. One attack comes in again with that drop on the top corner. Spores are everywhere. This time around, a big Reaver drop. Unloads without anything dying. Mutas are coming in to save the day. Storms on top of the Mutas and hits his own Reavers as well. The Mutas do stay alive. Does he have a second Storm? Dragoons are there on the scene to help him out, but looks like the Guardians and the Mutas will just keep this all safe pretty easily. Doesn't lose too much. And he's preparing his follow-up drop a little bit slowly. He's low on gas. He adds another gas to the mix there on the bottom. He might even get a proxy gas base at some point. A lot of Stargates. Does he have upgrades for his air, though? He has 0-0, so his upgrades are very far behind. 458 is looking a little bit uncharacteristic here. That's a little bit uncharacteristic. Rabbit is very far behind, very far in front. Rabbit's lead is humongous. 2-2 on the ground. He has 1-1 in the air. His upgrades are astronomically far ahead of the Protoss. But we get mass cannons coming in, and it's largely about the Storms and the Reaver AoE damage. It's not really about the upgrades, it is about the Storms. Storms are the key to keeping that Zerg out of his base. And that's what he's going to focus on. 458 has been preparing to go for the Ultra Turtle against Turtle game. Turtle Protoss against Turtle Zerg. Protoss is an easier time turtling because you have Zerg's Protoss Storm, and Zerg just dies to a storm. Like everything that a Protoss Zerg has dies to a single storm except Guardians and except the Vars. Everything else dies to a single storm. And Ultralisks. Ultralisks don't die to a single storm, but everything else, one storm, bam, dead and gone. Maybe even Lurkers comes in yet again. No course has to escort this one. Everything getting attacked. Not Temple unloads, but it dies within the blink of an eye. It would take absolutely impossibly fast reaction speeds and clicking speeds to select the Templar and Storm, and then storming takes animation time as well. So Rabbit is just completely fortified. He has 20 hatcheries, 22, 23, 24 hatcheries here on this left side. His production is as astronomical as his upgrades are. It is going to be extremely difficult to make anything work here. It's going to be extremely difficult. 458 there, adding more cannons. As about, I'd say that's 8 gateways, another 6 there, so 12 gateways and 14 gateways in total. Getting carriers. We have Devourers there on the scene from Rabbit. Only 2 Devourers though. Does not appear to me like Rabbit knows that it's going to be carriers, so the carriers might catch him off guard, but the carriers don't have the upgrades that they need. He's getting upgrades right now, but they don't have the upgrades they need just yet. He's a little bit behind on schedule. He's got two Cybercores, 3 Forges. He's getting upgrades as we speak. So the Guardians start their long-ranged attack there to peel away the cannons on the side and hopefully peel away at the outer layers of 458's shell, his shield he's using to defend himself and keep himself alive with. But the storms come in, and the Guardians don't like storms. They die pretty quick to those storms. The wave comes in, so the cannons will slowly get peeled away, which will force 458 to reveal his hidden trump card, the carriers that are hiding in the back. He'll have to reveal them or lose too many of his cannons. Although he does have a lot of Templars. He does have a lot of Templars, so he will probably be fine for a little while longer. Another 6 carriers on the way. Gonna be 12 carriers in total, and I think he's gonna try to unload mass Reaver drops here on the corner, although I don't see any Reavers in production. I do see shuttles in production, but no Reavers at the moment. He might just completely not drop anything at all anymore. But of course, as in disruption weapon on the way, Corsairs being built, carriers have revealed themselves to kill the Guardians because he's realizing that I'm losing too many cannons, I need to take care of the Guardians right about now. And this will of course mean we'll see Defilers for Plague and Swarm, and we'll see the Varus to make sure that the Interceptors don't do too much damage. Also, look at the Interceptors without upgrades. They die so miserably fast. Look at the upgrades on the Interceptor, like, too slow. Corsairs, 1-0-1. He's behind against 3-3 Hydra, and we have 2-1 on the air. He's gonna build spores everywhere on this entire right side. This is gonna be one of the games that is the most turtle-y I've cast on the channel, with the most spores, the most cannons that we'll see in a long time. Because this game, looking at it right now, in the way that it's going, is very far from over. This is true fastest map turtling. Rabbit could go for the attack. He could go, but he wouldn't really break in that deep, or that is what I suspect. We got an Ultralisk Cavern finished up, getting Ultralisk upgrade, so I do expect Rabbit to switch into Ultralisks at some point and just brute force his way through that front door. Okay. I had my little drink to prepare myself for the second half of this game. That's what it feels like. Both players have been preparing themselves for this moment in time for about the last, I'd say, 10 minutes. They have been preparing themselves for the big confrontation. We got like 30 spores on his corner. This is true Rabbit Zerg. True Rabbit Zerg. Does not take any chances, not take any risks. He's preparing himself for an epic battle extravaganza, trying to kill the Defiler on the bottom corner, but the Defiler stays alive there. Got the Varus in the sky. The Defiler will soon throw down a plague or something along those lines. Carriers got ensnared. They're slow, very, very slow. No plague coming down. Carrier's gonna try to take down that hive, but the Varus are debuffing and reducing the damage on the Interceptors, and they make their very slow escape. Oh boy, Ensnare really does slow them down a little. And how many carriers have survived this ordeal? 6 of them, lost half of them. Like, when you get ensnared, you're simply just not fast enough to get that hive on time. And the spores and the Varus are going to make life impossible. There's just... we literally are looking at 40 spores in this one little screen alone. I mean, every single spore is right here. You've got no spores on the left side. Oh, drop comes in, sneaks through. Very, very sneaky stuff. We're going to try to unload those shuttles. Going to try to hit those drones. But it will be... oh, actually... he misses the side that matters most. He hits the left side, misses the right side. Plus, all the drones are hiding right here. They're all hiding, they're all safe and sound. And even if he did hit his drones, it's not like Rabbit will feel it. He has 17,000 minerals, 9,000 gas. Rabbit is healthy. If he gets storm dropped, he can rebuild all of his drones with those 24 hatcheries here on the side. And he has another 3 right here, and one in the front went down, so it's set 27 hatcheries in total. Left side is production, right side is just pure defense. He's adding on even more spores. He's really going to make or at least he's trying to make, this game as hard as it can be for 458 to win. But it does not mean that 458 will not win. Because he can put some Reavers right here and kill a lot of spores, but also make getting through all those spores very difficult for the Hydralisks. But we have Guardians. Guardians are pretty damn radical, pretty damn awesome against Reavers on the ground. Reavers on the ground don't stand a chance. But we have the carriers as well to take care of the Guardians. But then we have the Devourers to protect the Guardians. So a lot of counterplay going on from both sides, but ultimately I think Rabbit has the best combination in his hands. Dark Swarms, Defilers, Devourers, Plague, Ensnare, and of course Guardians. And oh yeah, did I mention these 50 spores here on the left side, right side? 50 spores. I mean, I'm just guessing, but this certainly does feel like it's going to be 50 spores, maybe even 70 by the end of this game. He just keeps on adding spores and spores. I've never seen this many spores in such little space. I mean, I get games where I build like 200 spores all over the map because the Protoss was just turtling and never ever dying. Because Protoss can turtle for ages. Like, I've played a 3-hour to 4-hour game because the Protoss was sitting on their base with stasis, Reavers, and storms, and I just could not get in. So 458 tries to just fly around the spores. I mean, why fight the spores? Well, you can just fly around the other way and try to get the hive, but he's getting slowed down so much. The Devourers are doing so much work, the carriers are taking metric tons of damage. 6 of them went down, he's attacking the hive. That's never gonna work. This was a recipe for failure, but the damage on the hive is actually pretty significant. If he can replicate that another 3 times, maybe 2 times, he might eventually take down the hive. But will that matter? Because Rabbit is rich. He's very rich. He's richy rich. He's the richest rabbit in town, and I don't think that taking the hive at this point will do much. It's gonna come down to just the old traditional way of winning the fight with an army against an army. But Rabbit's army is more diverse. 458 really just built an army to defend, because he knows he's probably going to lose. But we just built Templars everywhere. He just wants to make sure that Rabbit does not win. But that does not mean that 458 is playing to win. You could even say that he's playing to not die. And playing to not die, I don't think that ever gets a win. I play against Protoss players who play not to die quite often, and they have no offensive punching power, just a lot of turtling power, and this might just be one of those games where the Protoss has given up on winning and is just gonna try to not die. I think that's what 458 is doing. He's just gonna try to not die. Just gonna try to not die, and he's gonna try to drop over this bottom corner, over the top. There's literally overlords everywhere. He's gonna have to clear that all out before a single shuttle drop will probably make its way to this hive. Then we got lurkers everywhere. Well, he spread them out a little bit more than before and reduced the amount there because he pulled some towards this choke to try and break through. We got Templars and Reavers behind all these cannons. Nothing is ever gonna get very far into that base. Nothing is ever gonna really smash into 458's face with success. It's all just gonna be this armor around him protecting it. But as we can see, he is taking some damage on that armor. Rabbit is putting some dents into this fine, mighty steel, or whatever else this might be that the Protoss use for construction. I'm not sure what this is. Is it like steel? Is it stone? Is it rock? Is it metal? Is it steel? Steel is a metal? I'm not sure what it is, but it's something, and Rabbit is trying to break it. So he splits up his Mulisks all around the place. He's going to try to get an arc around and make sure that each Guardian requires 1 storm to hit. Make those Templars as ineffective as possible by having them use as many storms as possible to kill the Guardians. But oh boy, he gets spotted out there. Carrier's going to the middle, going to kill those Guardians. Devars are back at home protecting the hive. You should really use those Devars, because I don't think that 458 can just fly through and hit the hive. So pulling the Devars away from the backside should be safe. Pull the Cobra Guardians there back to the attack, but they all plump up and get stormed to death with the blink of an eye. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Like 12 Guardians don't stand a chance against a small little group of very strong High Templars that float about. Like, do they even lift? Bro, do you even lift? Just flying around all the time? Kind of wonder, what are they made of? Just floating about. No quad muscles. No sexy pectoral muscles. Just floating about. Muscle atrophy. Okay, so we are back to the fight. Well, an attempt at a fight. How can you fight with carriers against the most spores you've ever seen in one spot in the history of StarCraft kind? This is impossible. This is impossible. How do you play this? Well, I think what Rabbit or 458 should do here is maybe switch to Dragoons and Templars. I think that might be the way to go about this. Like, kill some probes, like 12 of them, so that you have like 55. And keep the High Templars, but get like a lot of Dragoons at this point, because the front door is not that well protected. You can maybe build a large gateway base here on the middle and then break through into this choke point and just try to outpower Rabbit with an old traditional gateway army. Gets a Reaver shot off and hits those drones. No, the Reaver Scarab does not connect. It has a timer. If you run away for long enough and doesn't explode, your drones will probably stay alive. But it's like 4 to 5 seconds of running away before the Scarab explodes on itself and kills nothing. The carriers try to just escort the shuttle in. Rabbit has 32,000 minerals. At this point, I would think that Rabbit losing drones is actually going to help him. Rabbit also... Neither of the two players has really tried to really do a lot of damage. It's more so that both players are really just taking this as slow as they can without ever fully committing to a fight. Although here we do have a small little attempt at getting more map vision yet again. These overlords might be filled up with defilers, lurkers, hideless. Gonna try to find out this top corner. This is the least well defended location, although 2 High Templars carries on the scene. Cannons everywhere. There's literally cannons everywhere in 458's base. He's not planning on making this easy for him. Proxy hatcheries on the map. Gonna kill that though. Overlords get spotted. Try to sneak past the carriers. But you know what? They're gonna die. You've got Templars on the scene ready to storm those Overlords to Kingdom Come. Kinda misses the storms, unloads. The fighter on the scene gets a plague, gets a double plague. Swarm. This top corner is under attack. It is compromised, but Templars, Reavers will do the trick. Does not have to use the Templars, just Reavers will do the trick. Great plague there on the carriers though. That's like 6 carriers there compromised. 6 carriers compromised. One of them went down. Reavers are killing this entire corner. There might still be some lurkers that are alive in the corner. No, they all died. And yeah, that actually was a smart move. Rabbit is trying to slowly peel away at the defenses. It hasn't been working on the left side. He tried the top right side, and it kind of worked. He got in there. Not very deep, but he made some progress. Now we will see another attempt by 458 to try and get shuttles into that main base over this bottom corner. We got the Queen there, got the Devars there coming into... unloads, Archon on the scene. They can fire. Drones ran to safety. Drones returning. He's returning as well. 458 playing smart here. Unloads the High Templar ready to storm. Actually, all the lurkers have moved away from the hive. Like, there's lurkers here on the side and on this side, but there's no lurkers around this section. So unloading here is now actually very safe to do. Rabbit's proxy hatcheries has finished. Gonna maybe build mass hatchery or maybe mass spores on this section as well to keep 458 locked into his base. Another wave of Guardians finished up, ready to go, ready to rock, ready to break through this Iron Dome, this shield 4-8 has built for himself. Carriers know that this exists, so it's going to try to take that out. We have a shuttle in the back coming in hot. It's going to take that out. Rabbit tried, but it is difficult to do this unless you're attacking non-stop. And he's not attacking non-stop. I really hope that Rabbit will kill like 24 drones at some point, maybe even 36 of them, and just make more units. These might become Stargates or might become robotics. Already has a lot of robotics on the bottom though. Now another Guardian attack there from the side. Carriers have to return back home. Templars are shooting, not shooting into action. He's going to rely on the carriers. He's going to lose a lot of interceptors defending this. Actually, those two Templars are doing a fine job clearing that out. All the upgrades for both players have been on 3... Wait. 2 shield? 2 ground arm? Okay, he finished everything up. 3 shield, 2 ground armor, 3-3. All the upgrades are finished there for 4-5-8. Goes in. The VAR is in the back. Oh, the VAR is so strong. Debuffing the interceptors with ease. Guardian moving to the bottom. Gonna try to defend against a drop. He knows the drop is coming. Unloads. Shuttles. Not gonna do too much. He's gonna maybe kill a couple of drones on the gas. Maybe a couple spores. But this... pretty good reverse shots though. One more shot. Please, one more shot. No. We killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spores. And nothing else. And maybe 2 drones. Maybe 3 or 4 drones. Rabbit, it's like tickling him. It's barely even scratching the surface of Rabbit's defenses. The most spores in a square meter in the history of StarCraft. Probably someone has built more of them, I'm sure of it. But this is a lot of them. A lot of them. There comes in yet again, with Guardians attacking the side. The outer layer of cannons has been removed, and it's going for layer number 2. The Templars, once again, come in to make sure that nothing problematic. Oh, he tried to Plague or Dark Swarm here, and maybe unload units here on this corner. But oh, the Templar got the Defiler. But that might be something we'll see again. Put one Defiler on the high ground, Dark Swarm right here, then unload Hydralisks on location. Or maybe just try to Plague. Maybe just try to Plague. We have... Might go for Disruption Web. Actually, Disruption Web on this line of spores might be just what he needs. Waiting for energy. Pushing the Devars and Guardians away, but losing the Corsairs to the spores. Maybe Disruption Web was not his plan. Interceptors really just fighting, knowing they will not get an inch out of this fight. Really just trying to keep those Guardians away, but all those spores are just so damn strong, and the Devourer debuff on those interceptors just makes them, I would say, useless. Let's try again with another shuttle drop. Flies in. Interceptors have all died. Spores are shooting, but he comes in on the scene, arrives, unloads. What is he going to do? Templars on the scene. Templars ready to storm. Templars storming, and Templars hitting a lot of drones, but at this point, Rabbit does not need those drones. He has 48,000 minerals. It's a lot. He can produce so much. This is all being killed, but not yet been replaced. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Stargates. He might build a couple more structures here in this section where he cleared out gateways, but not sure what he's going to build right there. He killed Cybercores and Forges to open up space in his base. Yeah, so this is something he's still going to build. Oh, wait. Oh, that's shuttles. Okay, that's just the shuttles there waiting on the side. He's not pulling them back. He should fly them into the spores and just make new ones, or fly them like all the way around back home and pick up some stuff back at home. The new cannons coming up. Carriers trying their hands. He killed the shuttles. He killed the shuttles. A couple new ones there ready to go. Corsairs go in first. Disruption webs on the spores, which of course gives Rabbit a signal that a drop is coming. Devars in position, but going a little bit too slow. Drones running to safety. Shuttles on the chase, but honestly, just let yourself get stormed at this point. At this point, just let yourself get stormed. Don't rebuild the drones. And that might have been exactly what Rabbit was thinking, as he does not make new drones. He just makes Mulalisks, a lot of them. all over the place. He would probably need a proxy gas base at this point, because he's going to burn through that 9,000 gas very quickly. And that will then be his limiting factor in attacking, because he's going to be building a lot of Guardians and Devourers from this point onwards. A lot of them. Like, we already have a lot of them. Like, we have like 24 Devourers spread out all over the place. Guardians coming in, waves and waves of Guardians coming in. The 24 drones mining gas, which is 6 less than what you would want to with making this many Guardians, but he comes in. This is now Rabbit playing serious. Rabbit is like, we've messed around enough. It's time to put an end to this. It's time to just go for it. We're gonna have Guardians coming from all over the place, Corsairs and Templars to defend, Carriers trying to defend, but oh, the Carriers lost their health to a plague. We have the Anti-Interceptor Spore Mega Ultra Defense 3.0 waiting here behind the wall to make sure that Interceptors don't do anything. So we got about 12 Corsairs participating in the fight, trying to push the Devourers away. Damage is so low, with all those acid spores on them. 9 acid spores. It is absolutely ridiculous. He does not even have level 3 attack. He has level 2 attack on his air. He forgot to get level 3. That's kind of hilarious, to be honest. So he's now making Hydralisks as well. Running out of gas. As I said before, he was on 10,000 gas, now on 5,700. It's going down very quick. Guardians are expensive. Very expensive. Dark Swarm in the front. We got some lurkers, some hiders on the scene. We got those carriers flying forward, going to try to kill whatever comes in, but the spores on the side there are really a thorn in his side. Comes in, Dark Swarms, trying to push forward. Templars in the back waiting. Reaver is defending. It's 1 Reaver, not 2, not 3. 1 here stuck on the bottom. Guardians moving in on the side. I think Rabbit is breaking through. I think losing all those drones has opened up so much supply for him to really just go all in on trying to end 458. Right here, right now. 458, you've defended and tried for long enough, but it's time to end this facade once and for all. Rabbit is going to equalize the game, or so I hope. So I hope. Rabbit has already burned through 16,000 minerals since losing those drones on the minerals. So he's got a little bit more in him. He can keep on pushing a little bit more and more. More Templars on the scene. Actually, not that many Templars. He's losing his gateways very soon. Like, the layer of protective cannons on the side has been taken away. Next are the gateways. The Carriers and Corsairs have to really work very hard to make this work. And he's got to make Reavers as well. I think this might just be it. There's way too many Devourers for these Interceptors and Corsairs to fight against. The Corsairs and Interceptors don't stand a chance against this many Devourers. And now we've got Hydralisks on the top, with the Defiler breaking through everything. Everything is going down. Quickly. Pretty quickly. Rabbit is making a lot of progress within very small amounts of time. Robo's dying, Pylons dying, supply blocked as well. He cannot replace anything. At this point in time, 458 cannot replace anything. Templars storm, Templars die, Hydras on the side, pushing forward, Dark Swarms on the scene, and even throw down some plagues just for shits and giggles. But yeah, 458 made a recipe for disaster. It was never gonna work. Rabbit took his time, perhaps too much time to really commit to the fight. 458 played perhaps a little bit too defensive, or is it even a question? He played way too defensive, way too passive. He's got shut down, punished for his hubris, and now Rabbit is taking home that victory. Reavers on the bottom has spawned. I want to say that there's a chance for 458 to survive from this small little corner that he's now in, but he calls GG. It's over. He's been surrounded. Hands up in the air and surrender. And surrendered he did. Rabbit takes home game number 6. In what is honestly a very dominant Zerg performance, but this game was one of the more passive games I've seen in a while, but both players were fighting all the time. But the attacks were very small little attacks from both players. There were some big moves made with big army supplies, but those were just desperate attempts, at just trying to make something happen. Because 458 seemed like he was lost for quite a bit in this game. That was it for today. Game number 6 is over with. Was the longest game in this set. We have a bunch of more games to go, and I think it should take like 2 more videos to get through all of them. And by the end of that, we will have our winner of this best of set. So far, Rabbit Games 458 has been really fun, and I do hope that they do go a little bit harder in the following videos. See you soon. I am signing out.